This is not a test. This is an emergency broadcast transmission.
But it says, for thousands of years, Satan has been experimenting upon the properties of the human mind, and he has learned to know it well. By his subtle workings in these last days, he is linking the human mind with his own. Linking the human mind with his own. He's experimenting on the human mind, linking the human mind with his own. Just connect some things here today. I want you to keep this all in mind as we keep going. Possession. Imbuing it with his own thoughts, putting his own thoughts into your mind. And he is doing this work in so deceptive of a manner that those who accept his guidance know not that they are being led by him at his will. A lot of people are being led by the devil, and they don't know it. They don't discern it. The great deceiver hopes so to confuse the minds of men and women that none but his voice will be heard. It might be that we are dwelling on a lot of negative things. We might be focused on all the things that are happening to us and that we're going through. We might not even know the voice of God, that God is allowing these things for a blessing, for a benefit, that it might be well with us, with our children. And so we might not be praising God as we go through hard times. We might be allowing the devil to speak through us and in us. But I want you to just keep in mind these things, because as we continue, you're going to see how the great deceiver is really trying to link his mind with our own. And I'm going to play you some videos. This is Klaus Schwab, and I want you just to hear what he has to say regarding putting chips in the brain. Just hear this, because there's just some things I'm going to share with you that it's all going to connect together as we continue on. So just stay tuned. Don't lose your attention in this video, because there are just some things that are just so important for us to understand right now as God's people, and also to share with others.
Can you imagine that in 10 years when we are sitting here, we have an implant in our brains, and I can immediately feel, because you all will have implants.
All will have implants.
Measure your brain waves, and I can immediately tell you how the people react, or I can feel how the people react to your answer.
In other words, they're telling us that they plan to implant everybody, that there's going to be chips in everybody's brains. Now, smartphone built into the body. Let's just hear this one here.
All right, we have 1 minute left, so very quickly.
World Economic Forum.
I wanted to ask when you all think we're going to move from this form factor to something that's on your face, glasses, and
how long is this going to be
on the edge
before this starts
50
happening?
seconds. Who wants to answer quickly? I think it will go. It will. First of all, it will definitely happen. I was talking about 6G earlier, which is around 2030. I would say that by then, definitely the smartphone as we know it today will not anymore be the usual kind of the most common interface.
Wow.
Many of these things will be built directly into our bodies.
Into our bodies.
One of the important statements
By
we
2030.
made at our most recent developers conference is that we believe that one of the big advantages of augmented reality is actually solving problems here on Earth, and it will be things like having glasses and being able to translate as you speak with glasses, and those are very close.
Holograms will be very, very high quality in the era of 6G. I've already seen 5G based hologram demonstrations. They already work, but then with the next generation technology, I mean, we could be having this meeting so that in reality we would be sitting in different parts of the world.
We could have this meeting, we could be sitting in different parts of the world, we could read each other's thoughts. You know, who is behind all this? Who is it that is behind all this? Well, if you read the first quote that I gave at the beginning of this meeting, you know who's behind all this. I want you to notice what Yuval Harari says. He is basically one of Klaus Schwab's top advisors for the World Economic Forum, which we've just been watching videos of. And what he is saying, because I want you to connect this with a lot of things that we're gonna just discuss today, because it's all basically based on this war that is taking place between Satan's angels and God's angels, to the point of demon possession. I'm going to share with you how this is all connected, and how that most minds are going to accept being possessed by demons. That Satan's mind will be connected to the people's mind, the human mind. And that's through these experiments, as we were talking about in the first quote that I gave from Ellen White.
I mean, the big products of the coming century will not be shoes or clothes or cars or weapons. The big product of the 21st century are going to be bodies and minds. So I think we are heading towards the upgrading of Homo sapiens into gods.
The next
Gods.
projects of humankind will be to overcome old age and death, to find
Immortality.
the keys, the secret to happiness,
Ye shall
and
not
to
surely die.
basically upgrade humans into gods. This is
Ye
why
shall
the
be as
title
God.
there is God Man. And I don't mean it as kind of literary metaphor.
It's not a metaphor.
In the literal sense that for thousands of years, humans have imagined gods in a particular way. They ascribed particular abilities and qualities to gods. And we are here in a church, and the walls are full of these descriptions of what God can do. And we are now seriously in the business of acquiring these traditional divine abilities and qualities to ourselves. Whether it's trying to overcome death and gain immortality, or whether it's upgrading our cognitive and emotional abilities. So it's unlikely that these ethical and political objections will indefinitely prevent the research from going forward. So this is the first method by which Homo sapiens might upgrade itself quite soon into something completely different: biological engineering. Another method to upgrade humans is cyborg engineering. Cyborgs are beings that combine organic and inorganic with bionic hands. In a sense, all of us are cyborgs these days, since our natural senses and functions are supplemented and improved by devices such as eyeglasses and pacemakers and even computers. Computers perform more and more tasks previously done by our organic brains and memories.
So these are just part of us. We're cyborgs.
Having inorganic devices connected directly to our brains and to our nervous systems. Devices that will be inseparable from us and that will change our abilities, desires, personalities, and identities.
So they're going to implant a device into our brains, into our heads, that's going to change our identities, everything about us, to the point that we will be cyborgs. The computer is not just going to be a computer anymore. The phone is not just going to be a phone anymore. You can see where this is going. This is their ideas, and this is not just something they're just talking about. This is a reality.